but it's weird. Why is it weird? She said it was weird. I don't know what she said. Why is it weird? Say what you want to say.
I just feel like it's none of your business, like anyone's business to like know what anyone's body count is, like, and quite frankly, like I wouldn't even want to know from another guy, because then like if it's a number I don't want to hear, like I'm not gonna like you anymore.
All right, well maybe we'll come back to that. We'll continue going around the table. I want to get everybody's answers. Go ahead.
No.
You don't object to?
No.
Okay.
I don't object.
No, I think it's fair to, for that to put you off. But I would also say that maybe...
Sweet Tooth, thank you for the gifted 20 memberships. Maybe...
I would say that maybe don't discount somebody because of that, because it's not, necessarily... I mean, you could really miss out on somebody good who has a past that, maybe doesn't align with your virtues, but also maybe they've grown from that. And so, yeah.
I'd probably still discount them, but...
I don't object.
Oh, okay. So just to bring it back, why is it weird?
It's invasive.
What's invasive?
The whole body count phenomena.
What do you mean?
To like...
Here, let me paint this. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say the guy doesn't even ask. He just knows because you've been friends with, maybe he's been in your social circle and he's known you for 3 years, and he's known you've gone out to parties and bars. He's heard it through the grapevine that you've slept with 20 men in the past 3 years. He doesn't ask you outright. Is it invasive then for the guy to not want to date you because you've slept with 20 men in the past 3 years?
No, but I do think it's heavily judgmental.
It's heavily judgmental. So you object to judging people. Didn't you say earlier that your allowance, well, not allowance, but you need a guy to spend $5,000 to $10,000 on you a month?
I said that's the average amount of probably what it would come to if you're putting like fun things, like the average relationship expenses into play, but definitely not an allowance.
Would you date a guy who works at McDonald's?
No.
So you're judging him.
What kind of judgment is that?
That's a judgment.
You could have been missing out on like the best burger flipper ever, and you just pass him by. How judgy.
I don't know. I think body counts between like 10 to 30 in today's society is like normal, honestly.
Let me ask a different question I'm just curious about. Assume right this second you enter into this dating market. I don't know much about the dating market. I've been off it for a long time, and thank God for that. But let's say you enter into it right now and you were a virgin. Would it be invasive if somebody asked your body count then?
Yes. I still wouldn't tell anybody because I feel like guys take advantage of women who have low sexual experience.
How do they take advantage? How do they take advantage?
Do you think then that most women's answers, when they answer that it's invasive or they don't like it or this type of things, because they have themselves a high body count?
Not necessarily. I don't even consider myself to be in that category. I just don't think it's a man's business. Like, why? Like, what benefit do you gain knowing who I've slept with in the past? Like,
so we can disqualify you from dating.
Yeah, but I agree with
no one
what
had
she's
asked
saying
that
too. Because sometimes ignorance is bliss. Like, let's say hypothetically you meet.
Give me the red pill.
That's the blue pill.
Okay, let's
Ignorance
say
is bliss.
I want to know so I can make a determination of, do I want to date this person, yes or no? I don't want, like, I would want that information. That way I can make a determination.
Yeah, but let's say in every single aspect of this one person, let's say you've been meeting people and it's never worked out with anyone, and you meet this one person, they're absolutely perfect in every single aspect, and then except this one thing.
But they have a body count of 100?
That you find out later. Okay, not 100, but you said what you consider high is 10. Let's say it's 20.
I'm using the extreme, I'm using the extreme on both sides. So the extreme is, this is the perfect woman.
Butler donated $200.
Thank you.
Since 1 in 3 women aged 16 to 30 has a STD now, and condoms don't protect from genital herpes, body count matters.
Yep.
Feminism turned your lady parts into a radioactive wasteland. I'm gonna go vomit now.
Radioactive, by the way. Here, let me drop the nuke. Actually, Nick, could you click the nuke red? Click nuke red. Yeah, radioactive wasteland. There it is, folks. Look at that. Holy fuck. That's what it's looking like. All right, Nick, you can. Yeah, look. Okay. So to use an extreme on both ends, you're saying, well, the perfect woman, she's perfect in every way. She's a 10 out of 10. She's blah, whatever. But here's the extreme on the other end. She has slept with over 100 men.
Yeah.
That's a no.
But wouldn't you rather just not know? Like you
Like
just
the-
you want to keep her as this perfect
No, I
being
want the
and you
truth. Truth über alles.
But let's just
I
you know
want the
what?
truth
but
overall.
let's just kind of grant it though.
You know what?
And say
It's okay.
your preference is that you didn't know, because for you, right, not knowing is a thing that you would prefer.
Yeah. Because I
Would you say there
I
would
don't
be
really
any
care.
problem though?
Like I honestly don't.
Would you say there'd be any problem though for a person who did want to know? They did want to know the truth. Maybe
But-
ignorance is bliss for you is true, but maybe for another person, ignorance is bliss. Not so true.
Yeah.
But like, why do they want to know so badly? And like, with the thing with STDs, you
Why
can
do
get
you want
an
to be so
STD
ignorant
test.
so badly?
Literally.
Well, I just don't really care. It's not that I want that so badly.
Yeah.
And if like my boyfriend comes to me and is going to tell me his body count, I'd like run away and close my ears.
Right, but
and
your
everything.
pushback is, but ignorance is bliss. It's like, okay, that's fair enough. It's true. Maybe if you're ignorant about something and you didn't have any foreknowledge to it, you might go a certain way. Like, okay, maybe, but if another person had the preference to not be ignorant on the topic, what still would be the objection? Other than you just kind of think it's icky, right? That's really it. When you get down to the value judgment, in other words, aren't you guys really just saying, I think it's icky? I think it's yucky. There's not really anything else
No,
to that?
I mean, it's like someone's privacy, like their personal life. Like to me, sex is something that's very intimate and it's
Is
like
it?
private.
And that's-
Oh, is
Well,
it
here-
intimate if you have a high body count?
Yeah, that.
But,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think Izzy and I kind of see similar to this on this particular topic, because we're not using this as an excuse to be promiscuous, and sleep with a bunch of guys. I'm just saying I think it's rude for a man to ask a lady, how many guys have you slept with?
It's not rude.
I recently actually spoke to a guy about this, and I think him and I like kind of agreed on the standpoint, like, we don't need to know each other's body counts, but if we both are in an area and you see somebody that you slept with, do me the favor and let me know. And we're in the same area, and I'll do the same.
That's
But, like,
asking you your body count, just in a different way.
it's just like,
If you slept with a dude, could you just point him out? That's not invasive. but the alternative of asking you how many you slept
no,
with
like
is too invasive.
if
For real?
if we're like at a party or something.
That
just-
sounds 10 times
no,
worse
no,
to me.
No, just so they don't make a fool out of themselves and the person is there, But like to go out and ask for a number like that's just
And
wild.
that's-
And I'll
that's
never
actually-
give it to you.
Just point out the person, right? It's like, what?
This
Come
is
on.
actually a great reason why men ought to date women with low body counts. So the likelihood of you being in a scenario where you're in the same room as another man who's fucked your woman, you're just almost making our argument for
Yeah.
us.
In fact, that's your demand. You're like, hey, I had a conversation with a guy,
no,
and he
but-
was like, look, if you've been in a room with other dudes that you've been,
No, but
can you
it's-
point them out? That's literally asking you your body count.
No, but stuff happens. Like sometimes you be like out at a party.
just
And,
happens.
like,
Yeah, it
someone
happens.
Who just happens, and you're like, damn, like that's.
You know how it is. You're at a party sometimes, and you're just hanging
You
out,
just
and
see
then in
three
walk in
people-
people you've slept
three
with. That's
people
how
like
it
you
works.
had
what?
sexual intercourse with at the party.
Adam 22.
Okay. It's
Wait,
if you have a small circle, like it's sometimes you see people out. It's true.
How many people in this small circle have you had sexual intercourse with? God damn.
Imagine like a college
Enough to point 'em out.
campus, for example, like a college campus, like. People in college be doing craziness. Like
That's true.
You're bound to see somebody there. Like you should, like like it's not like that.
Look, okay. I'm still not sure why it's weird. I have a question for the ladies, though. Would you date a guy who had sex with men?
No.
Like they're bisexual.
Yeah, sure. He previously had sex with men. Would you date him?
I've never really thought about it.
Think about it right now.
I mean, as long as like I don't see what difference it would make if they're bi.
okay. Okay. Are you bi?
No,
Okay.
I'm straight.
What about you?
I've been close. I've like kissed a bisexual man.
Would
but
you have a long-term relationship with a guy who's had sex with men?
Yeah, I think I could do it.
She thinks she could do
I think
it.
I could do it.
What about you?
Hard no.
But hold on. That's not any of your business. That's his
What kind of
past.
value judgment is that?
That is a value judgment.
Yeah, sorry. Nope. That is my business because that same individual's thing has been in like a man's thing, and it's really my business.
Well, wait a second.
Yeah, no.
There's a little cognitive dissonance going on here. Because you're saying you have no right to know my past and what I ever did.
Yeah, my
And so what if-
straight heterosexual past.
So then
yes.
what if you're hanging out and you're dating a guy and you really like him and he's like the one, and he spends the $10,000 a month on you, the whole nine.
But this
you
is
know what I
not-
mean?
this-
And
don't twist my word.
one day you just like pick up the phone and this guy's like, yeah, it's Chuck, and I used to sleep with this dude. Would you dump him?
Immediately.
It sounds like a value judgment.
It does
a
sound
little
like a
bit. Sounds
value
like
judgment.
judgment.
Call it what you want. I can't be with a man like that. I'm sorry.
Going around the table, would you have a long-term relationship with a guy who had sex with men?
Depends on compatibility in other
thought you-
aspects, but no.
Okay, but no. Okay.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's a no.
Absolutely not.
Are we supposed to answer this one? I don't know. Okay. Well, okay. So some of you said body count does matter. Some of you said body count doesn't matter, shouldn't matter. You don't object to men caring about body count. So it begets the question, what's your body count? Starting with you.
Over 100.
From you, going this way.
I'm not answering because I think that should be private between me and my boyfriend.
I thought you said body count doesn't matter, shouldn't matter.
I mean, I don't know. I also said it's no one's business.
You don't have to answer.
Okay. What about you?
I'm genuinely not sure.
Range.
Like
Or over X number.
like no more than 20. So 15 to 20, I would say.
Okay.
Decline the question.
I thought body count didn't matter.
It's nobody's business.
Okay.
Ditto.
It's private.
0, waiting for marriage.
I'm sorry, you spoke. You got, guys, please. We do need you to speak.
I said 0, I'm waiting for marriage.
Oh, that's really nice.
Good for you.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's marriage. Okay. It's interesting, though. You guys say body count
Well
doesn't
done.
matter, but you do refuse to answer the question. I find that interesting.
I think privacy, my right to my privacy is what is important to me, and I don't want to share it on the internet.
That's
May I
fine.
ask you
That's fine.
something?
I do think it's
I
interesting.
have a question too that I'm
Yeah.
just curious about, kind of folding into this.
My question is, I can respect your position, but then this podcast is famous, sometimes infamous, for asking these questions, you know? So I wouldn't go on it if that was my position.
Yeah, but I had the option to decline to answer.
Well, I suppose you could decline to answer every single question we ask you, but
Yeah, and then I'd probably would never come back here. Wouldn't get invited back.
Some things just don't need to be on the internet. Like if you wanted to be on the internet,
look, you don't have to answer the question. It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
like it kind of, your whole position of, well, body count shouldn't really matter. Men shouldn't really care about it. But I also really want to reserve that information because you think you'll be judged on it.
Well, I have a different question I'm curious
yeah.
about. So all of you guys almost unanimously said if a guy had ever been with another guy, it's like no, right off the gate, which by the way is awesome. But let
Andrew, stop! You're gonna get canceled, dude.
They're
They're gonna cancel you.
Let me
Andrew.
Let me ask this a different way. Should a guy be able to, or should a guy get together with a woman who has had same-sex activity
with another woman.
with a woman? So a woman, it's same-sex activity with a woman. Should a man get together with her?
Men love that.
Double standards. Double standards. Hello.
It's a little different.
Oh, is it?
Oh, you think so?
What? No. What's the difference? If the standard is that you had a same-sex relationship, so that's a no-go. But if this sex had a same-sex relationship, that's a-okay.
I mean, that's up to you. You know what I mean? If that bothers you, but I don't think it bothers most men.
I mean, maybe not, but we're still holding the standard here, right? What makes it a no-go for you guys? If a man was in a same-sex relationship, for you not to date him, what is that force that drives you where you're like, no?
I think masculinity and femininity are very different. So when it comes to same-sex relationships with men, like men and then women, I just think it's a lot more. It's a bigger leap to go same sex with a man than.
That doesn't really answer the question at all. So, like, the question specifically is this same-sex activity between two men. You're like, no go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Why?
Because it's very emasculating. In my
What if
opinion.
he's a
That's pretty. That's kind of as emasculating as it could get.
That's it? It's just a masculinity issue?
Yeah, I think so.
There's no other
I mean, it's
underlying
also.
reason?
Yeah, I mean, let's not get into that, but.
But there is, right? There's other underlying reasons
sure,
there,
Sure,
right?
but that's, and also I don't know if that would apply to female same-sex situations.
Why?
Because there's different body parts getting involved.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I just don't understand the standard, I guess.
If I can jump in on that, though. So if you guys are kind of repulsed by the thought of men doing that, then like the thought of you doing that with other men, that's kind of how we
look
feel.
at it, right? To draw it all home, that's the same way that we would feel the opposite
About
way.
you guys
Right.
being with
Other men.
it's not a perfect. It's not perfect.
I mean,
It's a little
It doesn't
different,
map
but
on one-to-one, but
Yeah.
you could get the preference
You
here.
get it, right?
I understand, and that's kind of why I'm like, I don't really encourage promiscuity. Like, I actually prefer to be like with one person for long, extended periods of time.
That's beautiful.
But
Great.
to each his own. Like, it's your body, you know.
Speaking of which, this is actually why I refuse to date a woman who who's had sex on camera with another man. Speaking of Sean Evans, call back to 2 hours ago. If a woman has had sex with a man on camera, that is a 100% a deal breaker for me. You're out.
Do you mean like a home flick or
You
OnlyFans?
are out. Afuera! Out you go, afuera. Where's my fucking soldier? Wait, how did that get turned on?
Do you
Holy
mean like
fuck.
Mean like a private movie or like a OnlyFans?
No, he's talking
how
about
would
like
I-
public
yeah,
for
public-
public
For public
consumption.
viewing,
yeah.
For
okay.
public viewing. Yeah, of course.